Welcome in once again, guys. We're here to feed that Yu-Gi-Oh cardboard addiction, guys. You guys already know, man. We're with none other than V and Rogue. Wow, a tri-collab, man. These guys are amazing. Yo, say hi, guys. What's going on? What's going on?
What's up? What's up? What up?
Chillin' McMillan. Yo, V, the GOAT Market Watch, and we have Rogue. We just had him on last week. You know, he made a call. We're gonna touch base on that. So by the way, you need to subscribe to both of these guys. Again, we're gonna leave the links in the description down below. You know, we have Rogue right here. Love the channel. Always discussion videos, things about the meta. You know, staying informed, keeping up to date with the game. You have to make sure you sub to my guy. And then V, fellow market watcher, man, turn competitive. Not just now, but forever. Now top 32ing in Houston, and he's gonna take over YCS Providence. You know, I'm gonna let him talk more about that in a little bit. So again, make sure you subscribe to V. You guys to subscribe to my guys. And again, guys, if you want to follow, track the cards we're going to be talking about today, first link in the description down below. Make sure you don't miss out. And if you want some Billy Bob's, guys, for the funs and games, make sure you get your copies right here. You guys already know. So we're going to start with Purulia, the talk of the town. You know, shout out to Rogue last week, and then I want V's opinion as well. You know, Rogue last week, he highlighted Purulia's. He was like, yo, guys, competitively, and he's going to touch base on that. Make sure you guys pick up your Purulias right now. The card was $30. You can go check out our video last week. It was like 30 bones, $100 for a playset, great entry price. We got Rogue turning out here as a market watcher. It's amazing. Rogue is that good, man. Rogue is that good. Taking the competitive scene and causing buyouts because he's that good at what he does, guys. So again, here the card was 26s. When we talked about it, it was 30s. And Rogue's buyout here, you know, 9 listings. The card is $50. It was 60s just the other day.
Oh, man.
So, Rogue, let's hear it, man. You already told people to buy it at 30s, you know, and at 50s. What do you think about this card, its utility heading into, you know, you already explained it last week, but let's hear your thoughts on this buyout.
Well, I'm honestly not surprised, honestly. When I realized how hard it was to pull out of that maze set, because I pulled none out of my 2 boxes, I was like, man, that card's going to be expensive. And then when it was 30s, I'm like, bro, that's a good entry price to pick up. I regret not getting mine. Honestly, I was being lazy, and I'm like, I'll get them. I'll get them tomorrow. I'll get them Friday, and they literally jumped up after we did that video. So
Right.
Not saying I had anything to do with it. However, you know, the market speaks and the competitive players speak. And with Mitsurugi being what's the word I'm looking for? Assumed to be the best deck going into the next format because of everything with the combos. Like I saw a post on Twitter from Nesh TCG, really accomplished European player, and he's highly ranked on Duel Book as well, which I do. That's hard to get highly ranked on Duel Book. He did a 1-card combo with just Sword Riser, ended on a full Mitsurugi board. So
that's wild. And
Purulia is like one of the only. Purulia and Dro are like the best cards for that matchup. Dro's dirt cheap, but Purulia being $60 is not surprising to me, honestly. I won't be surprised if it goes to like maybe $100, honestly, eventually, because the card is. Because next format, right? The way I'm looking at next format, because I'm not going to Providence. My next big event I'm going to is like Nationals.
Okay.
And I just see you need, what's the word I'm looking for? You kind of need like those turn skipping hand traps, because things like Effect Baylor, Ash Blossom, Imperm, they're good, but they're not enough. They're amazing when you open up like Baylor Droll or like Ash, Purulia, or like you get what I'm trying to say. Like when you open up multiples,
like to win more. Yeah, I get it.
You need at least a turn skip one, or is this not gonna be enough? Honestly, like especially against that like Malice, like you go Purulia, you're gonna need at least 1 draw because they have to normal summon, or they don't, depending on their hand. But if they're on a heavy bestial package, you're gonna get a lot of maximum value from that card. So I'm not surprised. OCG did it, so I'm not surprised TCG is gonna go right back along because the card is just that good. At best, it's a pot of at best in Rizo decks, it's a Upstart Goblin. At worst, it's just not even at worst, honestly. You easy side that card out. So
yeah, I mean the card is just that good. I mean, in back-to-back weeks, he's giving you guys the explanation. I mean, now the card is up 2x. We'll see if we get a little bit of a retracement back down to the mean. And now V, at least market-wise, when a card goes up 2x like this and goes into an all-time high craziness, you know, to $60, you get a little retracement back down to 50s. You see that only 9 listings left is getting a little bit scarce. You do have the other rarities like the secret rare I'm gonna just show now as you talk about this card. It's like the same price as the Ultra. Like any suggestions, any advice? Like what should people be doing with Purulia right now?
It's a really hard spot because, I mean, this is a card that players are slowly gravitating towards because with Malice, with the added nisters, they activate in the hand, so Purulia's gonna give you value. With Mitsurugi, like Rokira said, he's 100% right. It's a turn skip. I mean, you're going to end with a weak board or you're going to end with you're just gonna pass turn, and that's how strong Purulia is. And this kind of card that sets you up for the follow-up on the next turn. Whereas Fualos is a great card, Purulia might replace Fualos come the release of the next set. So it's that big of a deal, and players are respecting it that much. And obviously the buys are happening right now because of the release of the Stampede. Everyone's obviously trying to get their hands on Purulia. And you know, people want to get it now because as we get more near to the release of the set, players know the meta will change and the mentality of players with these hand traps are going to change. They might start siding Fualos, maining Purulia.
That's
and
why.
like some more people said, again, maining draw alongside of it because the name of the game is I got to turn skip you, my go, and I got to end this game fast. If not, like you're gonna pop off and you're gonna take me out. So, you know, it's a way to stop the mid game and just really just, you know, 1-2 your opponent. And any of these cards can do it. One Purulia against Mitsurugi, I mean, that's a nightmare. Against Malice, that even hurts because a Malice tries to do their extension plays to do the real Malice board with the release new set. Purulia is going to give values besides the normal summon with the added nisters.
I mean, your guys' take are just amazing. That's why I love collabing with you guys and just having you guys here. You guys have the competitive juices, the competitive brains, you know, just have that insight, that foresight of one-turn skippers. Again, not just Ashes, Veilers, those hand traps. Yeah, there win more hand traps when you have that turn skipper in hand, be it Draw or Purulia in this case. So, again, great call by you guys. I mean, all versions, you see the collector's rare from Mesa Master as well. You have a couple here in the 70s, and then it's just gone. I mean, the hype is real, just like Rogue said last week and tonight, and also V as well, just highlighting that you see secret rares at 60s, but this could easily go up to 80s and beyond as well. So again, the Purulia hype is here. This card is getting cleaned out. Hopefully you guys have your versions. You know, the quarter centuries, they're pushing 200s and even beyond. Listings are going lower as well as players want their high and max rarity, guys. So again, make those considerations as we move through into post-Alliance Insight. And then we have Call by the Grave. So again, this new art, I mean, this is the alternate art. V talked about this in his latest Market Watch that you guys have to make sure that you swing by and check out right now. So again, make sure you swing by because he gave great insight. He'll keep it short and sweet here, but make sure you go check out all the other cards. It was an amazing Market Watch talking about the OCG as well. So make sure you guys go check that out. But this card was $30. Again, it's up 3x. Essentially overnight, 28 listings. A card that was 30s going to 90s. I mean, a lot of people are hyped about this card. So I'm gonna just ask V first because this was the card that he highlighted in his Market Watch, and then talk about Call by the Grave with Rogue, maybe competitively, you know, as a one of the impact, you know, into the current meta post Alliance Insight. So V, any thoughts on this card?
Yeah, it blows the old QCR Call by the Grave out the water. I mean, the artwork-wise is insanely good. And this is why everyone probably ran and rushed towards this one over the OG one. The new Trinity for a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players, even right now, is Call by the Grave, Cross the Designator, and Talons. That's like the new Trinity. And people want the best version of the new Trinity. And when you got the new Call by the Grave, everybody wants it, and it's a one-up, and obviously it's hard to find. And you could get the OG version. But the new version, artwork-wise, is better, and if it's better, it's cleaner, and if it's harder to get, everybody wants it. So it's kind of one of those cards that people pull, immediately yank for themselves, pull in the action, they'll probably unload it, and it'll probably be done really quickly due to the fact that it's just super hard to find.
Yeah, I mean, great take. As we can see, the card is up 3x already. The demand is just superseding the supply. It's just too great. And yeah, I mean, when compared to the OG, we can see the OG is crashing down in price due to that same thing. Probably people sold at 40s and 50s. Trying to get, you know, the money they needed to pick up the new one. So that's a great take. And then Rogue, maybe competitively, you know, they're one-ofs, you know, the Trinity, like V mentioned, you know, Call by the Grave. Sometimes people side it. Some people, you know, now they're maining it. Like, what should people be doing with their called by right now?
Staple. Every deck should run it. Every deck should run the Trinity. Every deck, in my personal opinion, run one Call by, one Cross out, one Triple Tactics. Because those cards literally win you games. Like, I had a game at Locals the other day. I only lost it, I think it was either this day or, well, anyway, I had a game recently. I don't know if it was Locals or online. I only lost it because he opened up Call by. If it wasn't for Call by, Dro would have shut his whole deck down. So, and also too, I think just to touch on the fact of why the new one is going up, I think it's just waifu tax, honestly. Right. I personally prefer the old artwork because it's like really grim and cool looking, but I do like the new artwork too. Just because like how different it is. It's like I get the whole waifu thing. It's not more my cup of tea. However, I do understand why it's popular, and if I had one, I would definitely play it. I think it looks cool. It's really anime-esque, and considering Yu-Gi-Oh is an anime game, obviously, and things like White Source exist, and I'm bringing up White Source because that's a really waifu-heavy game, at least the way I remember it from watching people play it at local. So I think it's just waifu tags. People love their waifu stuff. It's the reason why decks like what's that deck called? Trap Tricks was really popular when it first came out because waifus. Feed Ash Blossom. So things like that.
For sure, for sure. I mean, you guys make amazing points again. When I first saw this card, I was more like Rogue. I'm like, man, I don't like this artwork. Like, you know, I prefer the OG. But, you know, after hearing V talk and just looking at the card, I'm like, you know, I just wanted a different, like, more rarities. Not just like as a quarter century. You know, maybe if I see like a PCR, a PUR, just I'll be like, you know what? I prefer this one. But as a quarter century, you know, I'm like, yeah, but I get, you know, the point, V's point. You know, and looking at it, I think it is better. I would still prefer the OG, so I'm leaning towards Rogue, but I totally get it as well. So great call. And then the Trinity, of course. You see triple T's now coming down to sub 50 bones, as we can see here, as a one of. Not bad. Maybe it goes down to 40s. We would have to see what happens here. But yeah, great call by you guys. The Trinity just at 1. It doesn't feel bricky because now you're playing. It's like a playset of each in a way. Obviously not consistent, you know, consistency wise, but you play one of each, so it doesn't clutter your deck, but you still have access to at least one, you know, so it just be a matter of which one pops up. So I like that take. Definitely competitive. You know, you guys should keep this in mind, especially with Designator crashing down now. People had extra play sets. You know, if you see these at 20s, not bad to get your one of. So great take by you guys. Then we have some Magia here. Again, there's a lot of talk, you know, in the community. Again, me personally, when I saw this card, I thought we would be getting supers, ultras, and secrets. I was super hype. I was gonna like make a binder just of Magias, and then they're like, no. We're just getting the prismatics. You're getting 3 additional versions. The quarter century is still money. Rent money Magia, we call it here in the channel. And again, a lot of hype. We talked about PURs at 45s. We told people pick these up. And that I honestly expected these to hit triple digis, and I still do in the future. I could wake up one day and see these each at 100, and I would not be surprised just based off scarcity. Everyone wants this card, even me. Usually I'm not a collector, I move cards, but I see a card like this, and I actually pulled Magia. You know, in this video back here, I actually pulled it. I just opened one box, and I actually pulled the card, which was amazing. So I pulled the Platinum Secret. I want the PUR, but I pulled it, and I'm like, I'm gonna just keep it. You know, it looked great. It's Magia. It's like a one of one, you know, in a way. So if that's me, I imagine the rest of the community, you know, pulling these off the market, just making these scarce with 15 and 16 listings here, as you guys can see. So just the general thought process. I'm gonna just ask Rogue real quick in the sense, you know, because we're boomers in the sense that, you know, in our last market watch, he said, yo, I love old cards. You know, I remember back in the day, this, that, and the third. So Magia, does it give you that same feel, Rogue? Do you think, you know, people should be picking this up, maybe collect one? Some people are going to be collecting one of each. Should people be going for the quarter century right now? What do you think about Dragon Master Magia?
I think if you're rich and you got money to blow, get the quarter century. As far as you making value on it, I always tell people when you make investments, you gotta spend money you're willing to lose. This is how I invest in crypto and stocks. Perfect. If you got money to blow, and I wouldn't pay my rent money for, you're not gonna make money overnight. But it is a cool rarity for people who's into that stuff. I'm a budget player. I like budget things. However, I do appreciate good artwork, and it does have good artwork. I know a lot of people. I actually know a guy personally who loves Blue Eyes. He loves Dragon decks,
sure.
And he wanted Magia, and he was like, "Man, I gotta pay like 600 for it. I don't know. I'm probably just gonna do it." And he had the money. Just, you know, it's expensive, you know. So I know a lot of players who are gonna appreciate the reprint just for them just to have it, just for the nostalgia purposes of, you know, Kaiba, old school Yugi stuff. So them making it high rarity out of the box, that was a smart move by Konami in my opinion, and I think it's a good pickup, honestly. If you're into that kind of thing, because it's just really a collector's card, honestly. So sure. I'm not a collector personally, but I do appreciate good artwork, so I think it's worth the pick up.
There we go. How about you, V? You know, the rent money version here going down from a band, $1,000, going down 22% here. And then we have these 3 versions. What do you think about Magia? Is it a good collectible piece? You think these might crash down or hit triple digits? What do you think about this one?
So if you're a Blue Eyes player and you got Max Ray Blue Eyes, then you got to grab the quarter century. It'd be silly not to have it. But here's the crazy part, though. We got stars coming up soon. Ooh. Konami knows everybody wants this. And Konami's already 4-1 everybody. They're about to go star like crazy. This card as a Starlight Rare would blow the QCR out the water. Like, it wouldn't even be a fair fight. Like, And that's not to say the QCR isn't gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It will always hold value because it's super rare, super hard to find. But then if you're a Blue Eyes player and you got, your DDS Blue Eyes, you got your everything max rarity, and then you got your QCR Magia, and the Konami's like, hey, here's a Starlight Rare. You're like, oh, I gotta get that too. So it's hard to even look at the other rarities besides QCR and that. But for the everyday average Yu-Gi-Oh player that still wants nice rarity Blue Eyes, but like you said, don't want to pay rent money, the PUR is insane. Like, the PUR looks so nice.
You got it in person? I'm waiting to see it in person.
No, I've seen it. It looks gorgeous.
I need to see it.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous.
I got the plat, but I was like, immediately I want me the PUR. I'm just waiting to see it in person, so with your feedback, man. But now I'm thinking about just selling mine overall because, I'll just wait for the Starlight. So great take on this one. Great point.
And that's the worry because every time I talk about a QCR, and there's a lot of, like we sort of call about a grip, both of them look gorgeous. Here's the issue. Konami come out of nowhere and go, hey, you know what's nicer than those goofy-ass QCRs? How about a Starlight Rare? And the whole play base is not going to go, no, they're going to go, yeah, all right, that's fair. All right,
Literally.
So we're all right now in a weird situation where QCRs are going away, and we're about to get Starlight Rares, which I think are better than QCRs.
Same here. At least me.
The lettering, you can actually read it in a Starlight Rare, where you can't really read it in a QCR.
Thank you.
So that's good. That's all it's gonna be. I mean, that's for the most part will be the big difference. And Konami can re-release all this stuff, and you think your deck's max ready now? Nah. Your deck will be readable now.
Yeah.
With the Starlight. So, I mean, like I said, I should have said this earlier in the video, but I just want to admit, like, don't get me wrong, I love these QCRs. Like I want to grab more, but you gotta worry whether or not it's gonna still be around if Konami, because Konami already said, hey, listen, we're printing the crap out of Starlight Rares. Get ready for it. And, like, all right.
I want to add to the Ultimate Art Starlight Rare for the Call by the Grave.
Yeah.
A lot of live twin players are gonna want that card too, so that's something to think about. Because if you're building live twins, you want the one with your cards.
You
on
have
it.
to.
You don't want the other one. You got to have that one, and it's it's a good pickup just for that as well. Because live twins is actually a solid deck post Alliance Inside. It's like a good rogue deck.
That's crazy that deck actually gets better too. Like you guys said, not just people wanting to collect these cards, or maybe there's a live twin community out there, but people actually considering as a rogue strategy heading into next format. That's a really great take. And then V made an amazing point, of the Starlight Rares coming into the fray. Again, iconic cards like these, I think they will receive their Starlight Rares at one point in another rarity collection. Maybe they just give us the Starlight, the Supers and Ultras, or whoever. We'll see down the line. So that's a great take to keep in mind, because current value today could get destroyed if a Starlight gets reprint. So definitely take those thoughts into consideration. And then we have a couple of just secret rares, just generic staples that I want to talk about. There's too many cards obviously here as we see, so we're just going to focus on the secret rare, which is the perfect mid-max. It's cheap enough but looks good enough. That's always the take that we have here on the channel for these rarity collections. And I tell people, if you need any cards week one, day one, the first couple of days, you get the secrets, you get exposure, but you don't get destroyed if they start going down in price, because they're already cheap enough in a way. So again, we're just gonna highlight some of these staples, and obviously starting off with the main one, we have Fuwalos. Again, next format, you guys mentioning Mitsurugis and Purulia and the impact, but mentioning maybe Fuwalos get cited. So again, I'm gonna just talk about market wise right here, is just stabilizing in price at around 23s, 24s, mid 20s. We can say 45 listings. So again, I said here 20s to 25s is a good price, to get exposure if you just really need the card, especially this early. But now competitively speaking, if you guys want to, chip in, where does Fuwalo stand post Alliance Insight? I mean, right now we still have a week or two, before that set comes out and changes the game with the new support, obviously. But what do you guys think about Fuwalos now with Purulia taking over? Is it a great time to pick these up regardless with the reprints now, or what should people be doing? I'll let V start with this one.
Yeah, this card's always good to pick up, but I think with the new set coming out, this card makes its way into the side deck. So like how right now, well, especially in Rhizo format, when it was the other way around, I think it might flip. With that said, this card's insane still. Whether it's gonna be good this next set, it doesn't really matter, because as long as Konami keeps it off the ban list, this card will always have a place in everyone's deck or side deck.
Yeah, I mean, great take. Played at 3, throughout these different formats since Rhoda came into the meta fray, and came out, the Rhoda set Rage of the Abyss. And again, I mean, this clean secret rare just came out, giving access, to players for these cheaper versions. So again, competitively speaking, Rogue, what do you think about Fuwalos' place in the meta? Is it a side deck card? Should people be maining this in Purulia, or maybe, 2 of these in the main, or how should people be targeting this card right now?
I mean, I think there's no right or wrong answer personally. You're supposed to have it in your deck in general, main or side. Me personally, it's a main deck card just based on like OCG, things like that. Okay. However, with Mitsurugi being one of the powerhouses going into the next format, I can see in an instance where people main deck 3 Purulia and side deck this one. I personally think you're supposed to play both. In my deck, what I'm doing next format, actually, I'm actually doing it now on Duel Book. I'm doing 3 Fuwalos, 2 Purulias, 3 Droll, and then the rest of the 3 Imperms and 3 Ash. And I think that's all you really need. And I found that to be good for me, because even like Fuwalos at worst against like the best deck, which is looking to be Malice, you're gonna get a lot of summons off, and it's bait for the Ash Blossom, so you can use your Purulia for follow-up. At best, it's going to get you at least 2 or 3 draws against every good deck except Mitsurugi. But even Mitsurugi, if they just draw their Rizal stuff, you're going to plus. If they draw Rizal and Mitsurugi, you might just draw 1. So I think it's still a good 3 of in decks. I never personally was a person who wanted to put it in the side deck, but I understood why people did it for certain decks that want to go first, and they're heavily on going first. But I like to personally build my decks very diverse for going first and or second, but like as long as it's in your deck, main or side, you should be fine, honestly.
Awesome take. Again, guys, I mean, what V said and Rogue said, essentially, guys, the demand will still be here heading into next format. Some people might choose to side it, for certain matchups, but at the end of the day, if you're going to an event, you're going to have your Fuwalo. So again, just continue to monitor this card to see if it goes down maybe the 20s, but being a staple, if you need it right now, I can't blame you guys if you guys choose to get exposure.
I think that's a steal personally for that price.
Yeah, 20 right here, right now. Yeah, and I mean, if you do check the other, I mean, if you really need access to it, the Ultras are 18, so so it's close to $55 for a playset. That ain't bad, guys. That ain't, sure, could it go down to 15s maybe? It is possible, but we always gave the range of 15 to 20s post reprint, and here we are. So again, like Rogue said and V said, a steal, guys. If you need access to the card, you get exposure now, especially with your playset. Here at the channel, we always talk about a position of strength. Let's say you need Fuwalos. You get your playset at 18s. If it goes lower at 15s or below, you buy more as an investment. And if it goes higher, you already have your personal copies. So that's what we call a position of strength with staples like these. So definitely, you guys need to keep this in mind. And we move on to Feed Ash. Again, alternate art, clean secret rare, 3 bones. Every time the Ash comes out, is always cheap. It's always 2s, 3s, sometimes even $1.50. People take it for granted. Oh yeah, there's Ashes everywhere. We have commons in the Blue Eye structure decks. We have Ultras and Supers, and it's readily available. And then what I talked about in today's Market Watch was I went back to Rarity Collection 1 Ash, a secret rare. It was the same price that this new print is at. Let's see, where's the secret rare? Let's just filter it out right here. Look at that, guys. So this card that is today $9 to $10. When it first came out in Rarity Collection, there's Ashes everywhere, $2 to $3, a playset for 10 bones a pop, and then the card throughout time, Ash is Ash. Secret rares are secret rares. They're the perfect mid-max rarity. The core set main cards come out usually how? As secret rares. Lacrima's, Track, Fiendsmith Engine, what was it? Secret. So again, this is a perfect example. People might want to match those rarities if they're not getting the high-end quarter centuries, and a $3 card becomes 10. So same deal. I think, again, not necessarily that it has to be a $10 card, but can this 2X and be 6 bones and beyond? Sure, it's Ash Blossom. People always need them at 3s. We get it. It is the alternate art. Some people don't like Feed Ash. I personally don't like it. Other people like it, and other people don't really mind as long as they get access to the card. No one is wrong or right in that sense. The whole point is price. I expect this card to go up in price right now. You can get a playset essentially for about 10 bones a pop. So, I mean, competitively speaking, there's not too much to say. We all need Ash. We get it. But, the reprint. What do you guys think about the alternate art, this card being reprinted? And I'll let Ro go first on this one.
There's a bunch of sick freaks in Yu-Gi-Oh communities only have a good time with this card. So I think the card is going to go up just off of that. People
Love
back
it.
in grammar school used to do things to themselves off of Dark Magician Girl. So since this card has feet in the picture and there's a lot of people with feet fetishes,
Love the
I can see this being a $15-$20 card just off that alone. You heard it here first.
Hey, you heard it here first. You see, V, he's a market man now. He started with Purulia, and now he's moving them market watch skills to feet, ash blossom, alternate art, man. Nah, V, you hey, take over, man.
Man, I hate Feed Ash.
Thank you.
This card is goofy, bro. I feel like at alternate arts, someone at Konami, that artist liked feet and just wanted to throw it in, and it had to be, bro.
Y'all remember
so
what happened with Nickelodeon, so.
Hey, but V, be
Yeah,
careful, be careful. There's that one kid at locals that he likes this version. You got to mind your words. You know.
Nah, if he likes feet, that is what it is. I mean, you do what you do, bro. You know, smell the card, I guess. I just know what it is. I agree.
Man.
No doubt about my mind. Super rare, minimal $5 easily. Or it always happens all the time. It's not even like a shock anymore.
Right.
It will go up in value. I wish Konami made a better alternate art of Ash Blossom, because all the other
Ghost Girls,
zombie hand trap, Ghost Girl, their all art looks relatively really good. And then you look at Ash, you're like, this is the best we got. Like this is compared to the other arts. Like, yeah, we got played.
For real. Yeah, what were you gonna say, Rogue?
I was just gonna say, she just looks so like she looks like she's positioned for something that's illegal for her age. So yeah,
Right,
I don't get the art.
Yeah.
But yeah.
yeah. I mean, I agree, guy. I mean, it could just be better, honestly. Let's keep it a buck. It could be better. They could do a better job. And if you're gonna put feet, on one of the Ghost Girls, don't put it on the best one. Don't put it on the one that everyone uses. You know what I mean?
It would have been a good idea for Konami. And Konami, if you're watching, this is a free game. Redo all the Ghost Girls as adults, but waifu adults. But make it as an alternate art, but as adults. That people would eat that up like hotcakes.
Damn,
like an adult version of Ash Blossom with feet looking like that, but as an adult, oh my god.
Yugi people. Quick hot take, because I want to bounce my idea off this, because you're 100% right.
Sure.
Waifu taxes for adult animes are better than waifu taxes for the chibi animes. And when you look at animes like in Yu-Gi-Oh, like Malice is more adultish compared to the these, and obviously it's meta, but also goes for money. But like another example, Dragon Maids. Dragon Maids still are adult waifus, and Yu-Gi-Oh players, especially in the OCG, they love them, and they're not children, they're adults. Like, why can't this be like like $18 for a card that you're probably never gonna play, but put in a sleeve and have in your deck box because you want it, and I don't blame you. Like Konami needs to. Your Roki was 100% right. Like, adult waifus. Stop with this goofy kitty waifu. Like, stop playing To Catch a Predator on this game. Sure. I want like adult waifus.
Sure, 100%
Call it a
right.
day.
You guys are.
When they said Ash. When they said Sketcher Gray was 15, I said, dude, my place that I own, that one's 18 years old. I don't know what you Konami with your goofy 15-year-old lie. Mine's is legal.
And not to mention as well, a lot of the adult waifu tax, it gives incentive for a lot of the girl Yu-Gi-Oh players to do cosplay.
That's a great point too. Yeah, I mean, it just works out best. Look, I mean, you see this card right here. Again, it looks great in the sense of looking at it from a waifu tax vantage point. And again, as adults, I agree with both of you guys. It's just
look at the playmat.
Yeah,
look at the playmat for Dragon Maid. That playmat is still worth money. That playmat is insane. The Dragon Maid playmat.
Let's see if it. Yeah, I mean,
I didn't even know you can get playmats from TCG Player. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, they do have it here. Which one?
That's what they have it. Yeah, it's out of stock. But
okay, but which one is it? They're the same.
No, the one's a mouse pad, and then that one, the one to the right's the playmat.
Okay, this one. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, right.
That playmat is money, bro. Money.
Really? Is it? Let's see. No sales. Yeah, no sales. Yeah, that's crazy. No, but it looks good. It looks good.
They used to have it on there. You probably have to go like eBay and why not, and like look around if you can even find it. They're super hard to find.
That's why.
It's money. The waifu tax is crazy when it comes down to on playmat. Konami sanction on playmat.
Right. No, but you're right. You guys are right. That means they're doing it. They're doing a good job with this. But then, like, just spread it out throughout. You know what I mean? So instead of picking and choosing, especially from my vantage point, is the utility of this card. Like, it's Ash. Like, come on. Like, everyone plays this. You know what I mean? If it'd be like winter cherries occasionally, then I understand. But I mean, it is what
We
it
need
is.
that
You know, yeah. Go ahead.
Japanese samurai with the big titties and the little thing around thing. You put that on a card, bro. That card goes
Bruh.
for $800.
Yeah,
as a
good
common.
luck. Good luck with that, man. Good luck with
2400
that.
play set.
Hey, Hyundai only rent money. I'll skip rent a couple of months to get that one card. So you guys are on point with that, guys. So again, we have Fiendsmith Engraver Secret Rare. Again, this is a card that was $100 plus, went down to 50s, respiked back up to triple digits, and then it's been crashing down ever since. And now we have a reprint here at $4 to $5. Now we're heading into a format where, you know, a lot of decks are going to be squeezing this in because this card is cheaper. But again, the pieces around this card got more expensive. So again, what do you think about the engraver reprints? I mean, they're around $4 to $5 right now. I think this is a perfect entry price. Anything sub 5 billies, I think, is great. I've been saying on the channel. A lot of people were clamoring for this reprint. What do you think, not just about this card, but the other pieces, tracks being 80s, Requiems being 30s, Lacrimas 50s? Like, what's your take on this? We'll start with V on this one. What do you think about engraver and those other cards?
So, Fiendsmith to me feels a lot like Adventure. I'm not sure if anyone remembers Adventure. In OC they hit Adventure, and TC didn't. We never hit Adventure. Fiendsmith is, I think, a better Adventure core. And the thing about Fiendsmith is everybody wanted to be hit, but what happened with Adventure? Because everybody wanted that to be hit as well, and they got phased out. Now almost nobody runs Adventure. Maybe Chris John's here and there, but when you look at Fiendsmith, it kind of feels that way. Where, don't get me wrong, it's still really good, and we'll more than likely still see a lot of play. But it's gonna see play, but not the best decks come the end of the month. Mitsurugi's not gonna play Fiendsmith. Malice can't fit Fiendsmith in. It doesn't work. It'd be cool if it did, but it just doesn't really work together too well. So I think that new Malice, I mean, I'm Malice right now easily, but new Malice won't be able to fit it. But I think Fiendsmith is gonna get power crept, and maybe they'll hit something eventually, potentially. But I'll be honest with you, it's gonna be so forgotten about because so many decks are not going to really care about Fiendsmith. Just like how it was with Adventure. With Adventure, at one point in this game, everyone ran it. You'd be crazy not to run it.
That's true.
And then what happened? It slowly got phased out. Now, not many people care about it. Once again, I still think Fiendsmith is better. And if it was to get hit, sure. But I mean, I can see a world in which it never gets hit and nobody cares about it.
I mean, we're going to ask Rogue his opinion, but just before we hear what Rogue has to say, I mean, this is a perfect example, which, by the way, we're going to touch base in just a moment. And you know, V talked about this in his latest Market Watch that released today, or yesterday, sorry. You know, but the whole point is, again, Fiendsmith, what deck is playing Fiendsmith out of all these options here? So again, that's going to be really the key as we move forward into Duelist Advanced and into the latter part of this new competitive 2025 to 2026 season. Where is Fiendsmith going to, you know, pan out in here? So again, that's what V's saying. Yeah, right now is hot. Right now, people need it heading into Nat season. But, you know, post Nat season, where is Fiendsmith going to really be in that sense? So with that said, let's let Rogue chip in on Engrave.
I actually 100% agree with V on this one. In the beginning, when I first saw the ban list going to the airport, I was like, man, this card, they still didn't touch his engine. After playing a lot online, maintaining my little top 200 rank on Dueling book, which ain't nothing that special, but still something to do with since I ain't going to know YCSs.
Sure.
Every time I play against Fiendsmith Rizel or Fiendsmith whatever, I just clap it up. Even at locals the other day, I played against Fiendsmith Rizel and I'm playing pure Rizel, just thoroughbred pure Rizel with 3/7 Tachyon, the works, clapped it up. And I think the reason why I'm doing so well versus Fiendsmith variants with my pure build is simply the fact of when they lost Bonfire to 1 and then put all the other Rizels to 2, that hurt a big ass consistency in the Fiendsmith Rizel deck. Now that's not to say that the Fiendsmith Rizel deck is bad right now. It's definitely not bad. But with the consistency being hurt, and then you have the pure people like myself and Mitsurugi people like who also I think played 7 Tachyon, it's just like, why play that version when you can play the better versions, which is pure and Mitsurugi, in my opinion. So I think as far as outside of Rizel and going to other decks, the engine's not that bad. If you know the choke points, which is you Ash Blossom, use whatever version you want it, defeat or the regular, on the Requiem, and you're good to go. I see a lot of people losing to this engine because they're just ashing on the engraver, which is a bad thing to do. You always ash the Requiem 99% of the time, and you should be good to go, honestly.
There we go. I mean, great takes by both of you guys with regards to this card. I mean, the engine is hot right now to probably continue to do so heading into Nat season. But again, the Alliance Insight is going to shape, you know, the new meta and change a lot of things. So we'll continue to monitor this card and this engine. But if you need it, you need it for your deck. Anything sub $5 should be good for the medium to long term. And on that note, I just wanted to highlight here, you know, Ally of Justice Cycle Reader. Just wanted to highlight this card. Again, because just on that note about Fiendsmith and people needing, to find a way to counter, the engine. Then we have Ally of Justice Cycle Reader. So what do you guys think about this one, V? What do you think about this card as a counter to Fiendsmith? Are there better cards, or should people actually be considering, playing this card in their side decks to go against Fiendsmith? So what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I think it's a great card in the side deck. When you look at the meta, towards the end of the month, Malice, this card doesn't do anything against. Mitsurugi, this card doesn't do anything against. But every other deck is probably going to be running Fiendsmith. And rightfully so. Once again, it's a great sub-engine in a lot of decks that isn't Malice or Mitsurugi. Blue Eyes probably won't run Fiendsmith, but this card's still insane against Blue Eyes. It hurts it all the same. So you hurt Blue Eyes, you hurt it. I mean, you not only hurt, but you absolutely cripple Fiendsmith player's ability to really do a lot of plays. I mean, you time this card at the correct time, you're hitting, the Link 1, you're hitting a Lacrima, you're just hitting so many good cards that your opponent realistically, it really hurts them with one card. And I think this is a better version of Bystials for Fiendsmith. Before we had Bystials, so we never looked at this card, but now we're limited. And this card, it's even more brutal against those Blue Eyes players and those players that are running this card, because they run Fiendsmith.
Yeah, I mean that's a great take. With regards to this card, not just being good against the Fiendsmith package, but also being good, against Blue Eyes as well, and just other decks. So really, that's what it comes down to, man. Just a great card to have, and as we can see, most of these are going up. Before getting into Sky Crisis, you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versions of this card. Even commons are pushing 4 to 5, just based off the demand of people needing this. So again, let's hear about what Rogue Hero has to say. What do you think about this as a side deck option, or main deck option? Even though I doubt it, because it's specifically for a certain engine. But what do you think about this card? Heading into the new format right now against the Fiendsmith package that is probably going to be everywhere.
I think it's a good side deck card to have. I think if you got extra sauce in your side deck, you should throw something like that in there. I was personally considering DD Crow, which kind of does the same thing but weaker because of his drill beam, and a lot of Blue Eyes players only run 1 drill beam. Okay. But I did notice an uptick at Houston, but some people topped, I think, with 3 drill beams. Okay. However, with that being said, I like it as a card, honestly. His Blue Eyes, it hits the Fiendsmith. It covers a multitude of decks, and I'm always an advocate of cards that covers a multitude of decks. I think it's a good card. I wish I could fit it. I just personally can't, but it's a really good card.
Okay, yeah, that's a great take. I mean, there's always options that you have to consider.
Those ones.
Yeah, the DTs, the DTs, the OGs right here. Let's see. They're cleaned out, man.
A lot of y'all are rich. Y'all can afford it.
Look at that, $40. Yeah, I mean, V got this, man.
I've been bought the place already. Yeah.
All right, he was ready. He was ready. Look, $40 for DTs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great points that you guys make. And on that note, DD Crow, yeah, I mean, people getting ready, picking this card up because now there's no Abyss Dweller. So again, people are finding ways to just hampers people's strategies when it comes to graveyard, be it DD Crows, be it, Ally of Justice Cycle Reader, and also a third one that I want your guys' opinion heading into not just the new format, but even beyond that, which is Ghost Bell, a card that most people have been sleeping on. No one's paying attention to. You have Starlights at $80. You have for Crow, you have Starlights at what? At $100. Again, these max rarity high-end cards, no one's paying attention to them. What do you guys think about Ghost Bell? I'll let V go first. What do you think about this as a hand trap? Again, maybe pairing with DD Crow, maybe pairing with Ally of Justice Cycle Reader. Of course, there's only limited spots in a deck or even in a side deck. But what do you think about Ghost Bell right now as an option moving forward into the new meta?
It actually sees some play in OCG. It's really good against Malice because it's defensive and offensive. That's the thing about Ghost Bell that makes it so unique from the other 2 cards. It's defensive and offensive, so it'll protect you from, DD Crow. It'll protect you from Cyber. It'll protect you from any of the Bystials, and I like that a lot. With that said, though, I like DD Crow a lot as well, because DD Crow, if Malice didn't get the new Malice monster that's kind of like DD Crow for Malice, I think DD Crow would be almost a staple in Malice. The card's just really good as well. So looking at Ghost Bell, looking at DD Crow, Ghost Bell is obviously more offensive than really defensive, but Bell is just so good right now. And I think that I wouldn't be surprised if, looking at the YCS coming up at the end of the month, we see players playing Ghost Bell in their deck just because of how that, like I said, how the card is versatile for an entirely different reason, but still needed. With Mitsurugi, I think the Mitsurugi, I could be wrong, they're playing one of the field nuke guy. I'm really bad with the names because it's like Abba no Hibiki, whatever. Like they're playing one of that.
Me too. I'm
guy.
bad with the names. I just say Amy, no, yes, maybe so. That's what I call it on the channel.
And Bell's decent, but they can chain block Bell. But DD Crow is a sniper against that deck, an absolute sniper. So as they're doing that goofy chain block, you go, by the way, on top of all that, get rid of that one card that's gonna nuke my board. That's gonna make you pitch cards. And that's, like they're looking at the new Mitsurugis, because I think they're playing one. I'm not sure if they're going to play any more than one, but if DD Crow exists, future builds would have to play two by default. I think they're playing one because the base use are so limited. But yeah, DD Crow, phenomenal card, and Ghost Bell.
There we go. I mean, Rogue just touched based on Crow. He highlighted this card, and now V gave his opinion on both of these, and now giving a shot to Rogue on Ghost Bell in tandem. Is it going to be 2 and 2? Are you going to play one over the other? What do you think about Ghost Bell? Not just heading into Post Alliance Insight, but maybe even into Post Nats as well, which we're going to touch base on some OCG information here in just a moment. So what do you think about this card?
It's another good card. A lot of YouTubers have been talking about it. It's really good, really solid for the metagame, really solid for the format against Malice, Blue Eyes, even some niche scenarios against Ryzo. I think a card like Ghost Bell is gonna stay pretty stagnant personally.
Okay.
Because it's only using, like, everyone's not gonna hop on 3 Ghost Bell every deck. I think it's one of those cards where it's like, if your deck just gets clapped by Malice 99% of the times, or if you're just scared of Malice, you play Ghost Bell.
Okay.
But if you're like a Ryzo player and you make Detonator, like, I'm not saying that it's gonna be a guaranteed GG against Malice, but you're not really caring too hard, which is why I kind of had an opinion on that. Why I have, but it's still a solidly good card for like rogue players who have decks that are weak against Malice, like Blue Eyes players, things like that. I think it's a good card overall, honestly, because it got scenarios where you protect yourself against Drill Beam. From like, no, that Drill Beam don't hit the graveyard, but like you can protect yourself against Call by the Grave. So that's another good factor about it, because you go Hand Trap, they go Call by, you go Ghost Bell and Call by. It's like GG.
Love it. So I love cards like these that give people a shot against, top tier meta decks. So again, maybe if you're
definitely a
deck
pack card overall. Yeah.
There we go. Maybe consider just getting access to it if you need it, if you ever gonna need it, to have it in your side deck. So again, here we just showed the most expensive versions, but overall these cards are readily available. Ghost Bell having commons and supers and ultras, and they all both of these came in rarity collections. So make sure you pick your choosing. So guys, just very quickly, link in the description down below. Make sure you join our Discord and check out these links and tools and resources here for you guys, and make sure you subscribe to your boy. Make sure you ring that bell. Make sure you subscribe on the way in and like the video as well. And don't forget, we're gonna have the links for Rogue, Hero, and also for V right here. You guys definitely need to check these guys out. Look, we're already like 40 plus minutes in, and we've been picking their brains, and the information that they're preaching here is just mind-boggling, just amazing. And guys, obviously, with Rogue, buy now Purulia. If you want to stay tuned for the next buyout, you got to go sub to Rogue. And with V, man, he's the GOAT market watch. You have to stay tuned for the market watches and the prices. You can't miss out. Make sure you go subscribe. So again, we have another staple, the last staple from Stampede before moving into OCG information. We have Superstar Slayer Ty-phon and Sky Crisis. This card was 30 bones. I'm like, guys, if it could get double dip, make sure you sell your copies beforehand. Yeah, maybe if you have one and you're willing to go down with the ship, it is what it is. But some people had 3 ofs and RO9s and like binders full of these, and sometimes it's good to dissipate risk, especially heading into a reprint set. And now you had a $30 card coming down, and now it's 2 bones, so it's readily available. This is the secret rare. You have cheaper ultras and supers, but again, I think this is the perfect mid-max rarity, and now you can't go wrong. The card is down over 10x. If you need your one of, you have no business not getting this card right here at 3 bones, 79 listings. So again, I think we touched base with Rogue last week on this card, that it's a good extra deck card to have your one of, just in case you need to exit certain situations competitively. So I'll let him touch base and then go on and move on to V on why players should maybe be considering picking up this card right now at these cheap prices.
It's dirt cheap. It's a steal. I say just get your playset and just sit on them. At worst, it'll go up. At worst, it'll just stay stagnant. At best, it goes up a couple bucks and you make some money. A lot of decks that run this nowadays, I'm seeing run 3. So because a lot of decks just go into it with no problem at the end of their combos because they don't get locked into anything. I'm seeing it online and like can't think of any decks specifically right now. Usually the decks that use like Pot of Extravagance, things like Labyrinth and things like that, like a lot of rogue options. And even some non-rogue options that just end their combo, they can't out your board, make Ty-phon, bounce your monster back, pass. Or if you summon it twice and they bricked on all hand traps, summon hand trap, make Ty-phon, bounce your detonator back and attack. So I think it's good to have, honestly, just have a play set, sit on it, and at best you make money, at worst you have a good card just for your decks.
There we go. I mean, great take on a staple extra deck monster that most people play at 1. Most people don't consider playing at 3, but the meta's always changing. You never know if, you know, there's a new deck or, you know, in the future that uses Pot of Extravagance, and all of a sudden people down the road, 2, 3, 6 months down the road, maybe need a couple of these. So like Rogue said, it's a great time to get exposure. And how about V? What do you think about Sky Crisis? What do you think about the reprint? What do you think about this clean secret rare? Yeah, let's just hear it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys hit the nail on the hammer. I mean, it's you need at least one, but if you're gonna run any deck that runs Extravagance, you need 3. And for as cheap as it is, it's a no-brainer to buy this card because it used to be. I remember the Ultra Rare was like $20-something. Yeah, the first reprint of the Secret Rare was still money. Like, it was crazy. So I mean, this card is dirt cheap, really good. And for the price, like, why not buy it? You know, as a secret, especially right now because it's relatively new but relatively unwanted. And like you guys said, if you play a deck with Extravagance, you play 3 of this. Why not buy it cheap right now when no one's looking at it? Because the minute everyone realizes, oh, Extrav, I need 3 Ty-phons, then people start hitting up the market and they start going in here and start cleaning this out. Sure. And you'd be surprised how fast things like this, I mean, they move. Yeah. When a need comes in as a 3-of, these cards become super scarce.
Yeah, I mean, they're staples for a reason. Like most Yu-Gi-Oh players that have build a deck, they need at least their 1-of. So again, they're staples for a reason. And again, this card was just 2-3 weeks ago a $30 to $35 card. Now it's down 10x, over 10x. So make sure you get exposure to that. Now, competitively speaking, moving on to the OCG again. We always like making comparisons here every once in a while from the OCG just to analyze some trends. V talked about this in his latest Market Watch. Make sure you go check out a full in-depth analysis. And again, we understand OCG, TCG, you know, PCG, Yu-Gi-Oh! And 5. Nah, I'm just kidding, guys. The whole point is all these, you know, OCG and TCG trends, they don't match 100% all the time. Again, we need to analyze them and we need to take what we can get and what we believe is going to be transferring over here to the TCG. So again, we see that the latest one, Dragon Tail dominating with almost half of the pie chart, and then Yummy as well. I mean, people have a lot of expectations for this deck as well. And then dominant decks like Malice, which is dominant now, Blue Eyes, even White Forest as Amina with the new support just falling out, you know, to the wayside. And even K9 Crystron and just K9 overall, a lot of people hyped about K9, and we can see, you know, the latest and greatest OCG wise, not really, you know, doing too well, at least with the latest results. So again, every time we start a new competitive season, a new year, people are going to gravitate to the new decks, what they believe is going to be the next best decks or engines. So again, just overall, just very lightly, if you guys looked into this, like, what do you think, you know, how the TCG post-Nat season, how is it going to pan out? Dragon Tail be the best deck, K9 at first, Yummy's going to take over a Trinity format. You know, we'll start with Rogue and then move on to V. So what do you think about the OCG and what we can take or peel away here for the TCG in the future?
So I personally think post-Nats will be how it is now, post pre-Alliance Insight, where the metagame is like Wild West. You have a plethora of decks being really good.
Okay.
And I honestly don't think Konami is going to hit Ryzo as hard as they did in the OCG. I kind of think they overhit it in the OCG. And that's mainly due to the fact that, like, every name to 1 just shit on that day. I think they did what they did in the TCG, pitting everything to 2 and pitting Detonator to 1. I think that's a really fair hit just playing in the current metagame right now. So with that being said, since I think Ryzo is going to be still a solidly decent deck because they made Star Ryzo a secret rare, and they also probably might want to reprint that again like as an OTS ulti. So I can really see them post Nats making Ryzo still be relevant, kind of how like Snake Eyes was post Nats. And then if the deck starts dominating, then kill it. But I think with everything like Dragon Tail, Yummy, I think it's going to be a really diverse format because after Nats, cards go down, people sell everything. And everyone gets ready for the next regional season. So I think the format's going to be it's just really diverse. With some of the better decks being like Yummy and Dragon Tail, Ryzel, Malice, just based on numbers alone. And a lot of people are excited for Dragon Tail and Yummy because I know it's funny when I heard about Yummy being released. It's a guy at my shop who works at he works in an Asian restaurant, but he loves bubble tea. And I'm like, dude, did you see the new bubble tea archetype? He's like, you're joking. I'm like, no, I'm not. I showed him the Yummy with a bubble tea. He's like, holy shit, I'm playing that deck. So Yummy has a lot of fans just like snack junk food, so it's like, yeah, it's gonna be a really diverse format, honestly, just to wrap all my thoughts into one little concise thought.
Right. I mean, yeah, those are great points. Again, Yummy can attract, just the casuals in a way in that sense, but still be highly competitive. And we can see the diversity here. So again, people getting ready for Duelist Advance, Alliance Insight here in the short term, but post-Nats, Duelist Advance. So V, what's your take on the post-Nats, Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitive scene? Of course, this is because this is metagame 2 and the 1. These decks were also out, but, it was a bit different. But we can, take away from this. What can we take away from, the current OCG setting right now?
So as it stands now with this chart, it says a bunch of things to me. Number one, Dragon Tail isn't solved. You got 12 Pure, 7 Primites, 6 Magus. It's all over the place. So I don't think Dragon Tail's solved, but it's so dominant, which says a lot. I think Dragon Tail's going to be a huge issue for a lot of players because Dragoon, when we had 3 talents, wasn't as bad. Now that we have 1 talent, the set can easily make Dragoon, and Dragoon's going to be a problem card, minus the rest of Dragon Tails. As far as Yummy, I think Pure Yummy is definitely solved, and it's definitely a solid, good tier deck. I think it's a very good tier deck. But look at that, look at that Dragoon. And by the way, the highest Dragoon is Starlight Rare, so Konami's going to be... maybe they make another Starlight Rare or
Altanar, right?
yeah. But this one's been slowly rising up in value, and I think it'll continue to rise in value once players realize Dragon Tail's gonna be a dominant deck. It plays Dragoon with 2 talents at 1 now. The odds of outing Dragoon just got a lot harder because you can't target it. It's an Omni-Negate, which is becoming more and more rare in this game in general. Omni-Negates. Dragoon's definitely a card a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are going to start gravitating towards with Dragon Tail. Especially here in TCG. We love that. We love this card in TCG. When it was out and it was seen play, it was way more popular here in TCG than the Oshi when it initially debuted. Yummy's going to be great. Yummy, I think, solved. I think Pure Yummy is going to be a deck that everyone has to respect. One more thing about Dragon Tail. Super Poly in our meta is at 3 in Oshi. I believe it's hit. That's going to be a problem for a lot of people. So if you are playing Yummy, you can use Super Poly and break down Dragon Tail. If you're playing Dragon Tail, you might do Super Poly as part of your innate combo to just end the game, like we saw with Branded. When they would Super Poly, they would use that as a way not only to create a board or break a board, but really just take you out. They'll make a board swing, Super Poly, end the game real quickly. And this card is just super unfair. This is one of those cards that I think will be talking to town once it starts seeing more play, and once players go, okay, we gotta get rid of this card. You can't respond to things, period. We gotta get rid of these. We can't have that.
At
so
3?
I think
at 3 too?
Yeah, at 3. Yeah, it's Super Poly is about to become a massive issue. It's already slowly becoming an issue now, but as time goes on, it's also good against Malice Super Poly. Super Poly, it's just an insanely good card. Going back to that Oshi though. So I think Dragon Tail, Yummy are going to be dominant. Malice is going to be dominant. If you own Malice, you don't got to buy anything. You just own your Malice and you go, I could cruise the entire year. Looking at this. K9 also is unrepresented in this deck properly. And I mean by that is, you got K9 Kriston and regular K9. If you add the numbers up, that equals around the same percentage as Malice. So I think K9, even though if you look at this list, front end, you'll count it out, but you shouldn't because K9 is just as represented as Malice, and you gotta respect stuff like that. Prime Blue Wise, I think will have a ceiling. It's still gonna be good, but it's going to have a ceiling, and I think in time everything else will slowly just get more strong and more aggressive, unless Konami just has an insane ban list that blows everything away and makes Blue Wise good. But I do think, like I said, these are gonna be the top 4. It's gonna be K9, Malice, Yummy, Dragon Tail. These are gonna be the decks of the year that not only you gotta know how to beat, you gotta know obviously what they want to do, the side decks, with how their side deck converts you, how to counter it. If you master these 4 decks, you're gonna have an insanely good year in Yu-Gi-Oh!
There we go. Great take. All I see here is that Dragon Tail is the new Fiendsmith in the sense where it's combined with many different decks, not just pure, but Primite Dragon Tail, Magistus as well. So again, people, go ahead.
It's not solved and it's already dominant. That's scary. That's
crazy.
Like with Yummy, you got 22 Yummy. It's dominant. It's pure is the way to go. Dragon Tail isn't solved yet. Like when you see a variety, that tells me that nobody knows what's the best version. You go back with Ryzeal, we know Fiends of Ryzeal was the best version. Pure was a counter to the best version, but Fiends of that was in the last format. This one, Dragon Tail's this is dominant as Yummy, and everyone's like, why play this? I play Pure, why play Primite, why play Magus? What's the best version? I don't know. This is what I do. There's no like dominant, which is really scary. Because once we have a dominant Dragon Tail, it might, I'm not saying by a huge margin, but it's definitely going to edge against Yummy, Mouse, and K9 as a dominant build. And I think that Doshi is still looking to find that out.
I mean, that's just an amazing take, and especially the mirror matches, it's going to be pretty cool to see how people play around, like if you're playing a Primite version versus a Pure, and but they're still playing the engine, like how they'll navigate that. And I don't know, before moving on, maybe Rogue, if you want to touch base on, Dragoon, Super Poly, just your thought process before letting you, just wanted to highlight that the PUR, was $2, just like most of these. And look, already 650s, people are catching on. They're picking up their favorite rarities from Bonanza of this card that is still played at 3. So just your general thought process, competitive wise, heading into that post-Nat season, post-Duelist Advance, just thinking about the set after Alliance Insight, about Dragoon and Super Poly, and just your thoughts overall.
I can see those cards being expensive as well. Get the best copies. I hate those cards when they play against me. So usually when I hate a card, I think it's toxic, and usually when it's toxic, it's expensive. So with that being said, I say it's a good pickup. Honestly, if you can't get the Quarter Century or the Starlight, get the Platinum. It looks just as good to me personally. Like I'm not really that much of a stickler when it comes to rarities like that. As long as it's shiny and sparkly, that's good enough for me. So if you're a player like me, pick up the sparkling one you like, and then you should be having a good time if you're gonna play those decks. Super Poly overall is a good, solidly good card. I know Konami is dropping new hero support little by little, so if they give us some good hero stuff, that card can always jump up. Any other foil ones would be a good pickup, because it's even like the OTS one. I had a bunch of those a while ago. I see that they're like $8 on the website, I think.
Oh,
so yeah, it's always a
good.
Supers,
both of those cards
are
supers, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they should be around here. But yeah, they look clean too. These right here, they look clean. These OTS supers. Like instead of getting the Bonanza supers, I'd get these if they're similarly priced. They look clean, and they're more scarce.
And they were like overly pulled too. So like I remember I was pulling like those like every OTS pack. I'm like, another Super Poly. I was using it as a coffee mug holder. So it's like it's honestly getting those cards. And I think so. This is what I think. Just to wrap it up, I have a lot of thoughts on it. Honestly,
of course,
get the best rarity of it if you want to play it for the following format. If you can afford it. If not, get your rarity that you can afford. All the other ones, you can probably sell it and make a little bit of money too, because it's like $10 is at 3. You may want to see how it is post-NAS, things like that. You just got to do a little thinking and have a little strategy up on it, honestly.
You see? I love
Same thing, Dragoon. Dragoon's a really good card too. Like that card is, I feel like
it's going to be cancer.
Yeah.
Man, it's going to be fun, huh?
I haven't seen any Dragon Tail deck list, so I don't know how many copies they're running or how it works exactly, but
here it is. Here's
okay, so
Primite Dragon Tail here. So just to give a little
it might be a sleeper too, that OG artwork of Dark Magician right there. That might be expensive too.
Right there. Yeah, because people going to need their DMs for that, a Dragoon target. So pretty interesting. Yeah, it's always fun to check out the OCG and just analyze trends. So yeah, I mean, and great takes, love picking, Rogue Heroes Market Watch brain, as he can see.
Back to what V was saying earlier with the Ghost Bell, the guy was running 3 of them in the next deck list, so that may be a telling thing for the future as well. Just get your max rarity Ghost Bells and sit on them while they're kind of cheap.
You see? Go ahead, V. Yeah.
Those 2 points. Bell, I was saying, Bell's starting to see more play. It's seeing more play. And if you go down a little bit more, you see in the side deck, those at 1, 2 Super Polys. Toxic, bro. That card's gonna be, bro.
Oh my god.
Break your board with 1 card, you got it.
You see?
And a Zeus too, and Zeus just got the reprint, the alternate art too. So the alternate art Zeus looks so good.
Zeus and Ty-phon is mean, bro. Look at that.
Yeah.
And Ty-phon.
I mean, you guys are on point. You can see all these cards that most of the cards that we've been talking about are going to see play in the future. So that's why people, when they get reprinted now, they don't understand, like for Wallows just got reprinted. It's 2025s. Okay, yeah, Alliance Insight. But think ahead. It's still going to be played for months and months from now. You know, a card that you don't expect to get hit. So the same idea with Ghost Bells and, you know, cards that we've been talking about that you definitely want to consider into not just post-Alliance format, but also into post Duelist Advanced format. So again, I mean, a lot of people excited for Duelist Advanced, so we'll see how it pans out post that season. And just very briefly touching base on Alliance Insight, because it is the latest and greatest. They said that in 2 weeks we're all going to be playing when we go to locals and to regionals or high tier events. You know, so again, Alliance Insight just around the corner, $75 for the boxes. You know, not bad at all. But just going through this list very quickly, I mean, there's a cajillion cards in here. Just overall, Alliance Insight in general, with the new support Malice getting better, Mitsurugi, like we like to call them here, you know, obviously becoming, you know, a top tier deck. And then you have quarter centuries like the Shining Sarcophagus DMG. You have some Snake Eye support. Regenesis, is it going to be, you know, any good? You know, it's just going to come out. We don't see it in the top, you know, decks in the OCG. So overall, Alliance Insight as the next core set. What do you guys think about this? I'll start with V. What do you think about Alliance Insight and how it's going to directly impact the meta as we just scroll through a couple of these cards?
I'm ashamed of Konami for not juicing us properly. There's no QC or Malice or Mitsurugi in there.
Man, that's a good point. Let's go to the quarter centuries. Look, right here. Look at that.
And they came home and beat us that night. Yeah, they only made it like a CR, I believe. Oh, these are the QCRs?
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, I put all the quarter centuries so you can see them all listed one by one. We can see Dragon Rulers. We see the Snake Eyes, the Live Twin, more Dragon Rulers. What do we see here? I mean, they're kind of hard to see.
There it is.
We got Regenesis here. We got you know, 3 Regenesis, the one backup Ignister, Star Ryziel, Malice. You got the one of right here, and I think so. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, so there you go.
The Ignistas and the Malice is gonna hurt the wallet, bro. But man,
you're already feeling it. You're just looking at this picture, and you're already thinking about skipping rent, you know, next week. Nah, just kidding. Yeah, but,
I mean, I'll tell you right now, I want that Ignister QCR and the Malice QCR.
Okay, there we go.
100%. And the main boss monster, the Link guy. I always forget his name, but yeah, get me one of those QCR easily.
Okay. There's 3. Okay, you only need 3. You're good. I know Rogue needs 15 of these, right?
Oh yeah, can you guys hear me still or no?
Oh yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, I guess my camera froze. I'm sorry about that. It's jank editing. This is jank software I'm using.
You're good, bro. You're good. How many you want of these? What are you happy for? Which ones you want of these quarter centuries?
Honestly, I want Star Ryziel, but if I get it, I'll probably sell it because I don't really care about rarities like that. But honestly, I like quarter century. They look really good. Star Ryziel, I'm playing the deck. I actually love the archetype of Ryziel. It reminds me of the old XYZ days from back in the day.
Okay.
And also as well, I'm kind of not surprised of their QCR selection because it hit every market. It hit the Dragon Rulers for the Yugi Boomers. It hit the Star Ryziel for the competitive players. It hit the Malice stuff. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of good investments for people who want to pick up stuff. Also, to a sleeper is that spell card in the bottom to the left next to the trap. I think that's a sleeper pickup as well. It's not good now, but for like a future metagame where a deck like any deck that can afford to discard cards out of their hand or extra deck is gonna be really good. It's a board wipe, so and it has a super poly clause where it can't be responded to, or I'm sorry, it can be responded to, but the activation can't be negated. So this is a cool little pickup.
Yeah, I mean, I read that card and
it's probably gonna be cheap too. So
it reads broken. Yeah, probably at first, so no one's gonna pay attention to this. But yeah, I mean, as most of you guys already know, already. Again, a lot of great cards are gonna be coming. In Alliance Insight, a lot of people excited when we get core set releases, not just with reprint sets, like rarity collections and things of that nature, but also core set releases that directly impacts the meta as usual. So we have Battles of Legend. V, what do you think about Battles of Legend? Monster Mayhem, the Chibi Arts, overall, what do you think about this set? Do you like them? Do you like a couple of these? Do you like them all? What is the idea behind it? What do you think about Battles of Legend Monster Mayhem as a reprint set and the cards that will eventually be coming inside?
Konami's still with the chibi bullshit. It's whatever. I mean, here's the thing. It'd be cool to get like a cool chibi version of a card. I think that because this set comes around Nationals, so there's probably gonna be some fat reprints of this set. Yeah, that's gonna be like the chasers. The chibis are the gimmick. The reprints are the chasers. So I think that's what it's gonna be. We don't really have the full set list. But we know that there's going to be Dragon Maids, and so, I mean, once again, Konami's definitely going to get they're gonna get their money right there with Dragon Maid's alone. Orcus is in the OCG. I mean, it hit the ground running. It's a solid tier 2, I would say. And I think Orcus getting new support, new cards here, is going to be huge for the deck. That might be able to have it see play at Nationals. So it's something that players that looking to go to Nationals need to know how to play against. I do think the Chibis is like a gimmick, but some players are going to fall for it. They're going to go crazy for it. And a lot of players are going to look into the set and go, okay, what is going to be metagame worthy? So you got two types of players looking at this set, as opposed to most core sets when you get like ideally one type of player, which is competitive players.
I mean, that's a great take. I mean, you couldn't have said it any better. You know, this is a product that can appease multiple sub niches. You have collectors, you have competitive players and things of that nature. And now Rogue, what do you think about chibi arts? Do they cause some nostalgia? I see a Neos, I think, here, if I'm not mistaken. I see some iconic Yu-Gi-Oh cards and chibi arts. Are you gonna be wanting those? Do you like the idea? Like, what do you think about Battles of Legend Monster Mayhem and the chibi arts and things of that nature?
So as far as chibi arts, so when I played Naruto back in the day, we had a chibi set as well, and it did really well. People actually loved the chibi stuff, so I can see something similar happening in Yu-Gi-Oh. I think Konami foolish to they don't reprint any of Pegasus's cards as chibis because people will eat that up like cake, honestly, because a lot of his cards look like chibis anyway. So yeah, I think it's a good idea. It's definitely worth trying out in like the off season of Yu-Gi-Oh. When does it come out again?
It comes out, I think, right before Nats, if I'm not mistaken. But then
before Nats,
into the off season, because then Nats happens, and then so I get what you mean. Yeah, like in the off season when there's nothing else to pick up or really focus on, maybe this is the reprint set to look at, and especially I think they might squeeze in the double dips that they intentionally missed. In no one knows, but in Stampede, maybe Bistios, maybe Fenrir, maybe Chaos Angel. I mean, it's kind of a lot to ask, but
a chibi Bistio would be hilarious. It's like having a little puppy Bistio.
That'd be fire. That'd be fire. But I still think they not as chibis because I think we know all of those already. But just in general, giving us those reprints, hopefully, especially for competitive players heading into Nats, that they might need certain reprints of those cards. So then. Moving on to YCS, Providence, Rhode Island. V's gonna win. He's making a claim that he's gonna win YCS Providence. I'm gonna be there. It's gonna be exciting. I can't wait to go to the event. And then after that, we're gonna be, most likely in Nats, where Rogue will be there as well. And we're gonna all have some fun. So V, you're gonna win this event. Then, you want to shout yourself out for this one?
Yeah, listen, I made top 32 Houston. I really, crazy. I don't. So for years, I played Yu-Gi-Oh, but I never really played. I never play tested. I never really grinded. I never really put any real work in. I just bought the deck because I liked it, played around with it, played at locals, and said I'm ready. Let's go. But for Houston, my preparation was completely different. I put a lot more time into playtesting. I playtest with people. I hate Dueling Book, and I went on Dueling Book, and it's one of those things where. I forgot where I heard it from. It was you gotta swallow your pride and what you like and don't like and just do what it's something. I'm butchering the saying, but I hate Dueling Book, but I went on Dueling Book to practice. I hate watching certain content creators that I just don't like. One in particular, but I still watch their videos because they had duels and I wanted to gain that knowledge. And that helped me out tremendously. And I played completely different from Houston than I played in any other previous event.
That's crazy.
And in preparation for Rhode Island, I just amplified that even more so. I focused more on just learning, constantly. A lot of players get comfortable with their deck, but they don't get comfortable with their opponent's deck. I'm testing the crap out of Mitsuguri. Even though I'm not gonna play it, I'm playing the crap out of it. So I play against it. It's like I know exactly what you want to do, and I know where to stop you comfortably. Your tech is not even tech anymore because I practice that as well. Every version of your deck I've tried out, and same thing with Malice. I mean, I'm playing Malice, but same thing with all the decks in the game. I'm absorbing and learning and playtesting and practicing, and these are things I never really did. I kind of did, but. For Houston, I really put a lot of work in for Houston, and I went X2, and I'll tell you a really funny thing. I played Rise of Fiendsmith at Houston. In the last round, in day 2, I was going to game 3 against my opponent, and I know for a fact how the side patterns work. So I know if you go to game 3 with Rise of Fiendsmith, it's kind of like a gamble, but it's not really if you think about it, because my opponent decided to go ahead and keep his Mulcharmies in, thinking that he'll go second. So what did I do? I made him go first, and he was heated. He opened double Mulcharmy going first, and I veiled one card, and he passed turn, and I just cooked him. And he was scolding me. He was so mad. He was scolding me. You never go first. Why would you go first? And I'm sitting there,
hit them in the reverse. Like, I see you stacking your deck. I got to trust your ass.
and I knew that. And like I said, it was something I didn't do consistently throughout the day. But I saw the way he was playing. Like I said, by playing physically, you pick up on the body movements of what your opponent's citing.
That's
and
next
that's
level
too,
stuff.
like,
That's next level stuff. That's
I
crazy.
saw him siding aggressively, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do like a smoke screen. So I grabbed 6 cards, threw it in my deck. Didn't even take cards out. Went through, took those 6 cards out, put it back in the side, and said, "You go first." And he was heated. He went Ice Riser. I went Veiler. He went past turn, and he gave me the most like, "What the hell are you doing?" Look, I drew my 6th card, and I was feeling insane. And like I said, he got mad. He wasn't happy about that situation, but at the same time, these are little things that and they're small things at times, but like I said, testing, it helps you. And people watching the video are gonna go, "This guy, what the hell did you?" I'm telling you, bro. Like, if you pick up on those goofy small things, it puts you in such a better winning position. And it only happens if you test like it's your job. And I still, like, for Houston, I didn't test nowhere near as much as I'm testing right now for Rhode Island, but I tested a crap ton for Houston, and those things I watch and you pick up on it, and it helps tremendously, because now you know, listen, my opponent's gonna enter into game 2 with 6 dead Mulcharmies in his deck and a 40-card deck. Let's go.
Dead Mulcharmies. I like that one, guys.
And he drew 2 of them. And he was so mad about drawing 2 of them. I'm like, "No worry, buddy. You'll be able to activate some charges during the battle phase. I got you, big dog." Like, when I end the game, you'll be able to activate all you want, you know?
No.
But I mean, like going back to it, yeah, no, I don't want to toot my horn too much. I just want to talk about it because it was so funny, because he was so mad. But
I love it, man.
I'm excited about Rhode Island. I'm excited about, the game Yu-Gi-Oh! As a content creator for years, I always wanted to play more seriously. I just never, it's a bit of a ego, pride, and obviously an understanding of how to learn to a new level, because you can play Yu-Gi-Oh! And everyone gets to that certain level. Everyone goes, "I can go to locals. I'll just practice to my house, learn my combos, and call it a day." Nah, bro, there's a new level, and it's always about grinding, learning, researching, and don't buy those dumb ass spreadsheets. Do not buy that scam.
I was gonna mention it right now. You got to, yeah. I was gonna say, V, that's all good and well, but we know it was that $100 spreadsheet you bought. Messing around with you, bro. I was gonna mess around with you, man. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
The only spreadsheet I ever bought that I got that really helped me out was a Ritual Beast spreadsheet, and that was free, because the Ritual Beast community they're not trying to make money on you. These guys, the guys went to Worlds playing Ritual Beast.
That's crazy.
And they worked on it, made it free, and said, "Here's for everybody." That's a good community, and we need more of those communities. You go, no wrong. People making the money. It's kind of like people selling dumb things. If someone wants to buy a pet rock, that's on them.
Right.
I'm not mad person selling the pet rock.
Right.
I'm mad person being stupid enough to buy the pet rock.
And then complaining about it.
Exactly. You can play us talking about, "Oh, I bought spreadsheets, and that's why I did good at Yu-Gi-Oh!" Bro, cut that crap out. You don't need to do spreadsheets if you learn to put the work in. Because spreadsheets tell you what to do. It's an outline, but doing the work, putting the time in, learning all the meta decks, that guy will smoke a spreadsheet guy, because spreadsheet guy is robotic. Where that guy who put the work in, it's automatic. It's I got Valid here. Okay, let's keep going. The guy with a spreadsheet goes, "I got Valid here." Oh man, what did the spreadsheet say? Like, I'm not trying to downplay spreadsheets, because there is a place for them, but not for sale. Don't buy spreadsheets at all. I hate the idea of people buying spreadsheets.
There we go. I mean, what a take, guys. I really, thanks for sharing your experiences. Nice to pick someone's brain that, goes to a YCS, and Rogue is going to talk a little bit, himself as well, day 2ing and V top 32ing and me scrubbing out because I didn't even play. Nah, guys, the whole point is I love picking, picking brains, just about different experiences. And that's why I love YCSs, because it's such a big event. Of course, most people go to compete. Other people go, to make trades and things of that nature, or maybe side events to do some Edison Go Time Wizard formats. YCSs are great. If you ever have a chance, a shot, make sure you go there. There's always usually over 1,000 Yu-Gi-Oh players. It's just an amazing experience. So it's always good to pick people's brain that go through the grind, that, achieve results. Even just day 2ing is nothing small, man. You spend a whole day grinding an event and then you make it to that day 2. And then, others also continuing even to higher standees and things of that nature. Just an amazing experience. So I appreciate you sharing that with the community, just giving some insight on what it takes, to reach that next level. And then Rogue, you're not going to this particular event, but any thoughts about, expectations maybe competitively post Alliance Insight? Because this is actually the weekend right after release Alliance Insight, expectations that you have for this event, and just things of that nature.
I think everything V said was spot on, man. Honestly, just play. You got to grind it out. You got to play test. I'm expecting Mitsurugi Rise to be one of the most popular decks. That's the deck all the pros, or quote unquote pros, I don't know how you guys feel about that term, are promoting right now as the best deck.
Okay.
I'm going to go on a women's say there's going to be a few people who top with Pure Rise. I think Pure Rise is going to be really good, only because I'm cooking with it right now. Everyone's saying the deck is trash. I'm like, bro, I don't see how. When I hear people tell me a deck is trash, I'm like, no, you're just trash with the deck. Because I'm just saying the things I'm doing with the deck from it's like little intricate plays like overlaying when I have my dual drive set up with the cross on the build to make my Eclipse Twins, making another dual drive. After that, it goes search out and abuse things like my plasma holes in the battle phase. And it's kind of hard to explain. I would have to show you, or you guys can watch the vlogs and watch my duels and slow down. But I think what V said is spot on. I think Mitsurugi and Malice are going to be some of the best decks. I won't be surprised if Malice wins, because that deck's going to be insane. I think Pure Rise, just based on OCG, is going to be really good, but Mitsurugi is going to be the toss-up from the difference between the LCG and the TCG to make things a little different. So I think we're going to have a mixture of Pure Rise, whatever variant is going to be, Mitsurugi, and then Malice for sure. Even though I'm not going to this event, I'm still playtesting, just to go to locals. Things like I got half a case tournament this Friday with Mana Moon products. I'm going to that, and then I think honestly it's gonna be a good event. I wish I can go. Even if I could go, it's my son's birthday weekend, so I can't even go because my son turns 13. I feel old, but yeah. Anyway,
man, for sure.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you. So, yeah, I think honestly Rhode Island's gonna be a good event. I'm looking forward to watching V kick ass on stream, and just honestly just hope my boy wins, and hope everyone else that goes out there have a good time as well.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna be in the crowd, right there, just watching V put in the work. All that hard work pays off, already paid off in Houston, and then Providence is gonna be more of the same, even better, guys. And a great take by Rogue Hero, just on expectations for such a big event, and cards to be looking at, and that helps to segue into Mitsurugi Ritual itself, guys. So we have over an hour talking about this deck, these cards. If you're still here, you deserve, for us to cover these cards, just to keep your guys' expectations on check with regards to a card like this. When you have V, when you have Rogue Hero talking about a card, an engine, and the expectations heading into post-Alliance Insight and even National Season, we can see the price is already reflecting such thought processes. We see the card was $11. At 11, 12s, we were actually touching base on this card. I'm not mentioning the competitive side of things, because that's why I love collaborations, because we can, combine competitive and prices or charts and information to make a more informed decision. Me, I was talking about the fact that we were closer to the lows and to the highs, charts-wise. And, you guys mentioned crypto. That's what I've done with my channel. I brought, my crypto expertise, analyzing charts, and we take a naked chart and we just throw patterns and talk about double bottoms, double tops, support and resistance, and all that fun stuff. When you look at a crypto chart, same here. I saw this chart. We were closer. We were consolidating sideways at around 12s. I'm like, guys, we're getting new support in Alliance Insight. Make sure you pick up your Mitsurugis. And now it's a $55 card. 12 listings only. This card has gone wild, and that's the impact of what you guys have been stating competitively for over an hour, of the importance of this engine with the new broken support. In just a couple of moments, we're going to touch base on the other pieces of this deck. But again, you guys have an hour talking about the card, but just very lightly, what do you think about this card being a $55 card? Is it worth it? Is it going to go back down to 40s? Because you see this at 75s and beyond. So I'm going to let V, talk from the vantage point, not just competitively, but as a market watcher. With this card spiking like this, what do you have to say about Mitsurugi Ritual?
All right, let me say one thing real quickly, because all the pro players that they're playing Mitsurugi, I would run from Mitsurugi if I was a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player. Not that I'm saying it's gonna be bad, it's gonna be insane. But all the pro players said a lot of other decks, and what happened? You don't see him on those decks, right? I'm not gonna name names.
Okay.
But one guy was saying he's doing Malice, and then he went to Memento. One guy said he was doing Mitsurugi. Dude did a 360 turn around and meant Yugioh Fiendsmith. So pro players saying one deck is, to me, scares me away from that deck just inherently, because of the history of pro players saying everyone can play this deck.
That's a good
It's
point.
like they were saying everyone play this deck, catch ass with this deck, so I can top the event. I'm not saying that they're doing that on purpose. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of, and it's a
The way that it sounds, is like, I've play tested against this deck so much. I know all the choke points. It's the best deck. Play it, so then I could poop on it. So basically that's like the mindset.
Let me walk in with that counter and get the freest wins gods that ever given me in the game.
Literally.
With that said, Mitsurugi itself is going to be a house of a deck. I think players that don't know what this deck does are going to be the buy the entire first 2 weeks. If you don't know what this deck does, you are the buy. Like, you're gonna stop Mitsurugi Ritual and they're gonna activate it again, and you're gonna be like, hold on, wait, hold on, wait. You activated it already. Your opponent's gonna go,
Imagine,
man.
They're gonna try to Ash Blossom it.
Yeah. You're gonna want to read this card. It's a lot of text. You're gonna want to take your time, read the card. I'm about to win, so you can take your time as long as you want.
But we don't read. We Yu-Gi-Oh players, we don't got time to read. We just look at the art and we say it's broken. I mean, that's about it.
Yu-Gi-Oh players read when they're on the crest of an L.
That's true.
Yeah. they become like.
It's like, read okay. It's like, okay, let's read. It's time to read now because I'm about to take this big fat L.
While staring at the clock to see if they can burn you in time. We have 10 minutes. I'm gonna read everything 3 times.
Cowboy for game, Oh man, I love you guys. You guys are amazing, man. Yes.
I think the top players know how to counter this deck.
Okay.
I don't think it's hard to counter this deck.
Okay.
But then again, you have to prepare to counter the deck. See, if you build your deck not to counter this deck, if you build your deck with not knowing that this is going to be one of the most represented decks in the room, if not the most represented deck in the room, you're getting clown nuts. Same thing like Yugioh. If you walked into an event and Yugioh Fiendsmith and you had nothing to stop Yugioh Fiendsmith, you were the buy. No matter how good you are, the deck inherently is going to do what it needs to do. And since you didn't bring anything to the table to actually stop it at certain points, you're just throwing cards to feed it. And with this deck, it's going to be kind of like the same thing where if you don't know what this deck wants to do, or you don't respect this deck enough to, when you build your deck, to play against this deck, or even learn with this, I think you're going to be handing out wins. So I think a lot of players have to do it. With that said, I think Mitsurugi prices are going to maintain a relatively high price point.
Okay.
Mitsurugi Ritual Ultra Rare is still going to be 55. There's a lot of walls there, 13, 12, 5. Ton of walls at 55. So I don't think it's going to go higher. I think it'll actually start going lower. But that's only because of the amount in the market. It's a great time to sell Mitsurugi if you are completely done with it. And you're on Malice. I'm not fully done with it. Like I said, I'm playing it right now, even though I'm playing Malice, because I want to know. I want to know even the goofy side deck text. I want to play around with that before I get rid of this core, which eventually I will get rid of this core because I love Malice. It's gonna be my the deck I'm playing throughout the YCS. But I do think, looking at Mitsurugi, this is definitely going to be something that if you know it already and you're good and you don't want to play it, unload it fast, because the price from here on in will start going back down. It will start calming down, despite the fact that it's the best deck, as Yu-Gi-Oh players move on to cards to counter it. And those pro players, like I said in the beginning, trust me, they got you, bro. You think it's a pro player at the YCS that said to play Mitsurugi? Trust me, there's a good chance, historically speaking, that he's not playing it but he got you. Like, do your combo and see what card he drops on board to shut that combo down. It's the same thing like last time with a lot of these other decks, where like everyone should play this deck until this one card hits the board, and then you pass turn, and then you give them that win.
Literally.
Historically speaking.
Yeah, historical precedence, guys, is a thing, so definitely take that into consideration. And again, before handing it over to Rogue Hero, we can see that not just this version is 55, but also the quarter century secret rares were 70 bones, and now you have one at 130s, and then it starts pushing 180s and $200 a pop, guys. So again, this card is getting cleaned out of the markets right now. People are coming in, especially for the high end. A lot of hype around this engine, as we've been talking again for over an hour here, but I do want Rogue Hero's thoughts, compared to V's, and also just about the card, the engine, the price range, if it's worth it. So let's just hear your thoughts.
So as far as the price being worth it, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's an ultra rare for a deck that's tier 1. It's $50. That's not surprising at all.
Okay.
You need 3 of them in the deck to be good. I think 50. Okay, recalibrating my thoughts honestly right now on the spot. Actually, 50 is a little too high. I can see it dropping to 20s, 30s. Look at the Rizel engines, because all the Rizels you need 3 of, and those are like what 20 to 30s on release for the regular ones. I think people who are going to play this deck are going to want the QCRs. I can see those going up. I can see the ultras dropping personally, just based on like me seeing people locally who want to play these expensive decks. They want the fancier version. They don't really care about the ultra version. So I think ultra is a little bit of a ripoff right now. If you could sell those, sell them.
Okay.
Pick up the expensive one, and I can see the ultra dropping to 20 to 30s, but no cheaper than 20s until like after Nats. Now, as far as the deck as a whole, I think it's a good deck, but like V said, I'm 100% agreement once again. People tell you pick up this deck, or they praise this deck, and then they won't play the deck. They'll play something that counter it, like something that's main deck in 3 Drolls, 3 Purulias, and whatever main deck engine that can just naturally counter this deck. The deck's real, like B said. If you don't know what the deck does, you're gonna be the buy. However, with that being said, you have to put the work in to know how to beat this deck. This is a deck that if you don't know what they're doing at any given scenario, you're gonna lose. And like I could definitely say it's one of the harder decks to play when they start popping off. The issues I see with this deck, from what a lot of people who play the deck tells me, is it bricks at times, and when it bricks, you really can't win. You brick on like all ritual monsters and like hand traps, and you're just like, screw it. I got the Ame, I got the one guy, I got something that doesn't tribute, I got this one Riser that if he gets hit with a Veiler, I'm done. So it's kind of like little things it can brick, but when it pops off, it pops off.
Okay, yeah, like the little nuances to keep in mind if you choose to play this deck. So I mean, great takes by both of you guys with this engine. Again, this is the talk of the town, as we've been talking here for over an hour. It's insane, man, just how this is going to impact post Alliance Insight with that broken new support. So you definitely have to keep both these versions in mind. And great take by Hero with the retracement. Yeah, I mean, and V, mentioning what we call the walls of China here. Just coming in, the supply coming in. Probably we could see this, mid 40s, maybe even as low as 40s, at least in the short to mid term. That's suspected just off the rip due to this buyout. And I picked one up at 20s. In YCS Houston, just someone traded it to me, so I'm happy. I'm gonna be up over 2x. I need to find a Billy Bob over there that's gonna be playing the deck that the pro players are saying to play. So I make sure I get rid of this, here, take it from my hands, at a 2x price. So I'm gonna be having fun at Providence. So yeah, we have Amy, what we call here Amy, no, yes, maybe so. This card, Mamura Kumo, I'm not even gonna get into the name. I'm from Suda. This ultra rare, we were talking about it at $2. We were saying, guys, $2, you come in with around 6 bones, 6 billies, 6 beans, $6, hey, dollars, whatever you want to call it. You come in and you get this card at $2. It's too cheap. And now a $2 card becomes 10s. Insane. A 5x increase in price, 21 listings here. And again, just this off the rip based on the same hype. You can see the card was consolidating down here when we talked about it spiking up in price just based on everything you guys were saying. And of course, we're getting new support. So what do you think about this buyout? Obviously, as part of the engine, it is needed. And you guys briefly mentioned it, but now showing you guys the price going from $2 to $10. Are you guys surprised? You think maybe it goes down, or it's right, or competitively speaking? We'll let Ro go first on this one.
I won't be surprised if it goes up more personally.
Okay,
it's a staple in the deck. You run one. I mean, maybe that's why it's $10, so you only run one instead of running 3. However, I can see it being 20s. I mean, I think that's a fair price for it. And once again, this is just me not based off buying and selling. This is
No,
me
I
as
get
a
it. Just as a
Yu-Gi-Oh
competitive
player
player.
that
Yeah,
plays
yeah,
competitive
for
player.
sure,
Like
for sure.
competitively, like I would feel comfortable paying 20 to 30 for this card because
Okay.
that's just what I'm used to with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like when I got my Rival stuff, I got them for like 20s here, 30 here. You can work out some deals at your locals with people 85%, 75%, even depending on who you buy it from.
Mhm.
So I think I won't be surprised if it goes up more. Right now, $10 is a steal. I think honestly, buy. If you're gonna pay this deck, buy it, or just buy a playset and just sit on it. You might make a couple bucks. So I think it's a good buy.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. Before I hand it out to V, I understand from a competitive player, you're analyzing the importance of the card in your deck and the utility that you get out of it is totally understandable. So that's why usually we separate playability, to investments. Let's say if you need one of these and you need it to play and you see it at 10, yes, you're buying at a 5x increase from $2. But if you need your one of, just get it. You don't want it to be 15 to 20s. Now, if it says an investment, then that's a different take. That's where you analyze the charts and you make different assessments of a card. But from a player standpoint, totally understand where you guys are coming from with this one. And we'll let V, take this one over.
Yeah, I mean, it's a one of. I think after the YCS, it might start being a two of, depending on how players meta first it. Just because this card is phenomenal. It's an absolute house of a card. You always want to resolve it. You want to keep it on the board. You want to keep it in rotation from the graveyard back into the board on the reset. So I think this is an absolutely beautiful card. But with that said, it's a card that, like I said, those who know how to play against this deck are looking at. They're looking to go after this card because how good the card is. But with that said, I think that this card, I think the QCR is going to be the one that would go crazy in value. If I had to guess, I mean, it's already going kind of nuts in value. Hold on, wait, go. It's 65, and then it goes, what, 88?
Yeah, immediately. Those two
Crazy.
right there. Yeah, insane.
Crazy.
Yeah, just spiking up hard.
This card, so I think, and this is a solid deck for those that don't want to play Malice. And there's going to be a lot of players that don't want to play Malice. There's going to be rogue players that don't want to play Malice, but also meta players that don't want to play Malice, and are more comfortable with Mitsurugi if they played before, or more comfortable with the idea of Mitsurugi rather than Malice, because Malice is a very hard deck to play consistently well. It's easy to play like a couple, like 4 rounds good, but you gotta do that bad boy, for YCS. We're talking minimum 11 rounds.
I 100% agree.
It's super hard to play. Where Mitsurugi is not as hard to play, but is just as vicious. And Rogue, you said it. I mean, if this gets going, man, you're gonna need a
Bruh, trust me, I know.
This board. Yeah,
It's really.
You gotta calm this board down with literally. You gotta like Darko, Regeki, Duster, and even
Got a
then,
best
it's
shooter,
like,
Ame.
man, you gotta go in so hard against this deck just to kind of reset it. And if you can't, and the deck can recover relatively easily as well once everything's in rotation as well. So it's a scary deck. It's a relatively scary deck. That, once again, like I said, a lot of players need to know. Market-wise, I think the QCR is the money one. I think the Ultra Rare might spike a little bit, but it's going to shoot back down. The QCR, I think, is going to be the crazy money one, just because of the weird variations it has in price. I think it'll settle, and then it'll spike back up for the QCR.
Okay.
I could see the Ultra going up a little bit more, mainly because, too, the people who want to play pure version, like the budget players who want to play pure Mitsurugi, or the Apple, I can't think I pronounce that, the Snake Rain version, the Apoloptic, where you drop all the snakes from the deck to the graveyard and
the
start doing
reptiles.
combos.
Yeah, I'll go days,
Yes, I
I'll
can
go
see
game,
what-
whatever that thing is.
Yeah, how we pronounce
no
that.
shot, that deck's that deck sounds such. The thing is, like, okay,
It's
that's one of
goofy.
the-
It's goofy, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Mil 10 reptiles.
I studied the crap out of it, and I'll tell you right now, that build is really cool, but it loses heart of the hand traps,
Right.
because it's so, and that's why I don't like Yummies as much, because it's so explosive. But the more explosive and aggressive something is, the more susceptible it is to hand traps just hitting it at one shot. Like a really good player would just do the karate chop of a hand trap,
Boom.
and that just goes boom, past turn. And that's how I feel like the Ogdatic inversion. It's kind of like, if you don't have anything, oh man, that deck's gonna go ham. But like, it's so nutty. Oh, it's insane. But like, the pure version already is insane. Like that new ritual. If you don't have an answer for that new ritual, that's pure gas. Just alone. Like, Dama's Impulse is gonna be, like, in my opinion, money. It's gonna probably, in that Battles of Legends set, I bet you they reprint Dominus Impulse in there. Because that card, any of the Dominus cards actually, but specifically Impulse, because you need that card. It's not like oh, I'm gonna play Malice. Do I need Impulse?
Oh, you need 3.
You need 3.
Yeah, you need 3.
Like, you play 3, or you just don't play Malice because anything is
good to have overall too.
Yeah. Oh, the card's insane. Absolutely insane.
That new Dominus card is coming out to support it. So you want to play a Dominus type of deck? There you go. Have that as well.
Yeah, because then you can search it, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So it's insane. These prices are going wild. People know that they don't need to worry about a ban list. They know they don't need to worry about a reprint, at least until Battles of Legend, which is a month or 2 out. So again, people coming in for these Dominus cards, just like V and Rogue Hero said. So, I mean, great takes with the sense of Mitsurugi's, and as an engine, and the Dominus cards here briefly, seeing that they're going up in price. Just wanted to mention here real quickly, just this, what could be a penny stonk. We have Futsu. No, I'm not even going to try with the name here. What is that? Matama? I think so. But yeah, you see the volume candle coming in, hundreds of copies being sold in the last 48 hours. That means that the rush for the whole entire engine is here. So again, don't take this for granted. Just because you see this, at a little measly quarter, cards like these are quarters today, Billy tomorrow. You could wake up, this card is $1. No one's going to be surprised. Everyone's going to be saying, yeah, it's part of the Mitsurugi engine. Everyone needs it's $1. Okay, but if you get them now, you're up 4x. And if you needed to play, then you just didn't get it as an investment, but actually so you don't end up paying more money. So just someone to keep in mind with this penny stonk here. Don't know if you guys just briefly want to touch base on this particular ritual monster because it just came out in Supreme Darkness. Maybe the amounts that you need to pick up, or just the possibility of this quarter card becoming $1 in the future. You can start, Rogue.
Man, it's so cheap. Just pick up a page of it and just sit on it, honestly.
There we go. I mean,
I don't like you said, I don't see no world where for example, right? All we need is at Providence, someone the top 32 to YCS with Mitsurugi, let alone a pure build, and say, this card won Fuso, no Mitama, no Mitsurugi, won me games. As long as they say Fuso, no Mitama, no Mitsurugi, won me games, the card's gonna go up to at least $2, maybe $1.
Yeah, literally.
You're right. You turn what? Page is like what? 75.
Yeah, 9. So it's like what? Like $1 and some change.
$9 out of $3. How that shit? That's a Subway sandwich. So you good, man?
Yeah, there we go, man. What do you think about this one, V? This penny stonk right here.
I'll tell you right now, if you're looking to sell Mitsurugi and you have other stuff to sell Mitsurugi wise, this is the kind of card you want to put in because you'll sell your cores faster by listing this card. So if you have like 20 of the ultra rares of the other ones, bro, load up on these because whoever buys these will buy your core. So now instead of selling just an ultra rare, you're selling everything as a package deal, and it sells faster. It sells way faster. This is what a lot of TCG players, sellers, like stores, this is what they ideally would do. Some do it, some don't. But a lot of the ones that I talk to that are really massive, they love doing this because they know package deals always sell properly. It always sells really well. And you're right, there's only 161 listings. You see a lot of one-ofs, and then you see a lot of 100 copies that have been sold every day.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that page 1. Look at that page 1. It's 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And then you look at how many copies were sold throughout the day. You're looking about 100 copies. And then you look at how many listings available, 100 and change. So this is selling. There's no question about it. This is selling. And whoever buys this, if you have other Mitsurugi cards, they will buy that package that fast.
You see? I mean, just like they said, again, we come from a crypto background. So again, when you see a chart like this just consolidating sideways, guys, and then you see this volume candle come in, this is just a clear buy signal. And then we analyze the listings, just like V said, a lot of one-ofs and hundreds of copies being sold. Again, just use all this information. Don't let this quarter card become $1 down the line. Even if it goes to 50 cents, you're already up 2x, 100% increase. So definitely make sure you keep this one in mind. Don't forget that it came out as a holographic version, super rare, in the latest core set before Alliance Insight. And then to end it off on a good note, guys, we have a Bow, a Q, the Lightless Shadow, the quarter century secret rare from Supreme Darkness. We have the Q CSR and the regular secrets. So before talking about the high-end quarter century, we told you guys to pick this up at 20s. I personally just picked up 3. Not that I need the card or I'm a player, but just as an investment at 20s at Houston, I just picked up 3, traded for these. And now this $20 card is bumping up to $25 25, 26s, guys. And pretty soon it's going to be 30s with the potential reaching 35 to 40 bucks, and no one's going to be surprised. People and players are going to be like, yeah, that's a Bao Q. Yeah, 40 bucks. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a secret rare. It has a broken effect. You know, the utility hasn't changed, but price has, because people forgot about it. They lost interest in it. Now, post-Alliance Insight, people are going to be rushing back into this one, in my humble opinion. So, again, first you see the $5 bump on the secret. Then people, as the secret rises, they're like, you know what? Let me just go for the max rarity version. Might as well, especially if you just need one of. And then the quarter centuries, these are still around 150s. You're buying closer to the lows than to the highs. I believe this card is going to be anywhere from $200 to $250 in the future after the secret rare gets cleaned out first. Listings are low and scarce. So just in general, as a card, what do you guys think about a Q heading into post-Alliance format? Have people forgotten about this card? Is it underrated, overrated? You know, we're going to start with Rogue and go on from there.
Well, I think because Malice right now, pre-Alliance Insight, is not seeing a lot of play. That's why the card went down. But I think post-Alliance Insight, I mean, I think it's a one of in the Malice deck. So you can see in a world where the secret rares are 60, the QCR maybe 200 to 300.
Okay.
That's just based on like what I've seen cards that they go up in the past. And I think Malice still running as at least a one of. I know they get the new Adagnister Link monster in Alliance Insight that it's like their new inboard boss monster, but I don't understand why they wouldn't run both just to give you more flex options.
Of course.
Maybe we can touch on that a little bit more. I know he's testing for the event, but I can see this card honestly doubling in price personally.
Yeah.
Only because it's a card for a tier 1 deck that you need one of, but it's the prettier version of it as far as a QCR, and it's a secret for the budget players like people like me who don't want to pay all the money. Get the cheaper version, everyone's happy.
Right, there you go. I mean, we can clearly see an easy 2x from the lows of 20s. This one, the secret rare, becoming 40 bucks and even maybe 50s. And then the quarter century secret rares going from 150s. If you see these at 200 to 300, no one's going to be surprised. No one's going to be like, oh man, what's going on with... No, it's like, it's about a Q. So V, what do you think about a Q heading into post-Alliance format?
I think there are players still trying to fit it in their deck. I love this card. I'm a huge fan of this card. It's all about fitting it in your deck, and Malice, it's really hard to fit certain cards in. A Bao Q is one of those cards, but I'll tell you right now, the way I view a Bao Q is not the same as I view other Link 4s. Most Link 4s, Access Code, Board Sword, you drop them, those are your finishers, those are your closers, you know. A Bao Q is a card that takes advantage of an opponent whose board isn't strong. I can't kill you this turn, but I could go a Bao Q and I can make your life a living hell. And then during the standby phase, I'm gonna cycle through a lot of cards, and I'm gonna be able to just seal the deal in the follow-up. The Bao Q is a card that puts your opponent on the clock, and I do think it will still see play at YCS Rhode Island. I do think players are going to use this because there's mouse combos that don't use a Bao Q, and there's mouse combos that can not only use a Bao Q, but use it in a way in which it gives value to a lot of cards. You know, it allows you to bring back cards and reset the board state, and allow you to, I mean, its abilities, it's innate, or it's more of a supporter, but it's a link for, one of the best. This card, in my opinion, I said when it first came out, there'll be talks one day to ban this card. Ooh. That's how good this card is, in my opinion. Just because of how versatile it is. Besides the innate ability to destroy a card in field, which is like whatever, everyone can do that, sure, whatever. It doesn't target, by the way, which is crazy. The banish effect is massive for Malice. The draw effect is just absolutely insane. Like I said, this is your closer. This is what I do. If I can't kill you, I make this, I put damage on the board. Your board's weak, but I can't kill you, but your board is weak. I'm gonna use a Bao Q, because when it is on your turn, I get a pop. I obviously bring a body back innately, but on the standby phase, I get to cycle, and if I get to cycle any amount of cards, it's over. Like, there's no more talks about whether or not you can do anything now. I'm gonna cycle into things I need. Like imagine we're playing and we're head to head. We're head to head, and I go, okay, during my standby phase, I'm gonna draw 3 cards and then put 3 back in.
That's crazy.
Like, you know how, like, that's why when I look at a Bao Q, I go, this will be banned one day, no question about it. There's no card in the existence that says, yeah, you know, there's my face, go ahead and cycle some cards through, because this card, like I said, you and me at this, a Bao Q puts me over every time, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, what an amazing take when you actually dig in depth and see that just the draw power is broken and the recycling, but then you can pop a card non-targeting and then the banish effect as well. I mean, that's why again, just to end it off on that good note, I love collabing with people, because I really just focus on the prices. I really just focus on the markets, you know, supply and demand, fundamental economics, looking at the charts. But of course, fundamental reasons always matter, and I love picking competitive players' brains. And then, you know, V's the perfect hybrid. He, you know, lately has been competing at a very high level and being successful. And then he also knows about the market. So that's why, again, on that note, guys, you want to make sure, that you guys subscribe to V. Make sure you subscribe to Rogue. Stop living under a rock. You guys got to make sure you get exposure, because these guys know what they're talking about, guys. We just gave you, what, an hour and 40 plus? Amazing. The longest video ever made on this channel. It's an honor to be, you know, to do that here with both of you guys here present, man. So again, hopefully, you know, it's not the last time. I love collabing. I'm a big proponent in the Yugi space, that even though, you know, Rogue is competitive and he does vlogs and he amazing content, you know, V is a fellow market watcher, but I like bringing people on. You know, I'm a small channel, so we're working on that, but of all walks of Yu-Gi-Oh life, what I call, you know, you can be a market watcher, you can be a vlogger, you can be a competitive player, you know, you can be maybe a collector, you know, just bringing people together, you know, and I try to morph the content, you know, to fit, you know, all bills per se, in a sense. So again, it's been a pleasure to collab with you guys. I appreciate you guys. And
likewise, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me just say two things. One, guys, subscribe. Hey, guys, subscribe to Jay. Absolutely.
Subscribe to Jay for sure.
Killing it. Like, subscribe to Jay. But there's one more card I want to talk about that I don't think nobody's looking at.
Sure.
It's coming. It's allegedly.
We're going OT, the overtime. Yeah, let's go. Let's hear it. Yeah.
It's not TCG Play. You have to Google it. It's coming out in the new set.
Okay.
Code Igniter.
Okay, I like this, man. Look, if people stayed an hour plus, they deserve this bonus, man. They do. What's the name?
This
Code
card.
Igniter. Let's see.
Yes.
Let's see. Yu-Gi-Oh. Love it. Which
this
one is
card?
This one?
I think is a hidden gem. Oh yeah, this card's insane. Every time I read this card, I think about what it can do, and it's just nuts. It's an absolute household card. When it succeeds summons, you can add a Cyber's Ritual from your deck to your hand, detached to Ritual Summon by tributing monsters from your hand or field. Equal or exceeds, like everything. And then when it's sent to the graveyard, you can add an AI trap from your deck to your hand. This card's insane. Like, this card, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's coming out as a common.
No way.
In the next, I think it's coming out as I could be wrong, but this card is, I don't, in my mind, I don't have a deck for it, but I read this card, I'm like, this card does way too much for just 2 level 4 generic monsters.
Man, that's a great point. And then also you have to consider the fact that there's previous cards that could work with this, or new cards that come out in the set as well, you know, that might complement this card as well. So Code Igniter, Rogue, any last thoughts, at least with regards to this one, just reading off the rip?
I know nothing about that deck, but the effect's good and the artwork is insane.
Okay, yeah, sometimes.
I mean, so if it's a common, pick up a page of them, just sit on them. It could be $1 common. Any stock.
Yeah, you never know. You see, love it, man. Great bonus card, you know, to focus on. Go ahead, V. What were you gonna say?
No, I read that card a while ago, and I go, there's no shot to drop it, and I just found out they're dropping it. I'm pretty sure it's a common. It's like, I don't have a deck for it. I don't read whatever.
Yeah.
It's just reading all that. I go, this card is gonna. It sounds like a card that players eventually are going to abuse.
No, that's what I like. I love cards like this that no one's looking at. You know, if he read it, he recognizes potential. Potential is so big in Yu-Gi-Oh. Cards that no one's looking at, have no expectations for. You know, if they're cheap enough, you can always get the word that we always talk about, which is exposure. You know, especially as a common. Like Rogue said, why does it hurt to get 9 of these if they're pennies and shekels, you know? So in our own 9, you know, just like V has always said for years. So I really do like this highlight, this bonus card here that will be coming out, guys. So if you stayed through, you guys deserve that bonus content. So again, like we said, guys, again, it's been a pleasure. We gave you guys a movie here at the community. You know, you can sit through, you know, if you're on a commute, if you're at work, you know, we got you covered. And again, if you stayed this far out into the video, like I always say, you guys are straight MVPs. So again, hopefully this is the beginning of great things to come. Expect to collab with Rogue pretty soon and with V at some time as well, or have them on the channel as well. You know, it's always an open door policy here with great content creators and just great people, great human beings. You know, you can feel the energy, and that's all I ask when I collab. And these guys are just amazing, not just Yu-Gi-Oh players or Yu-Gi-Oh content creators, but amazing Yu-Gi-Oh people. Much love to you guys, and the community needs more guys like you. So again, any last note? Make sure you guys subscribe. Any last thoughts before we get out of here?
No, I just appreciate you having me on again, man. I really appreciate it. And shout outs to everybody who came to my channel and let me know they came from your channels. That was pretty dope from the last collab we did.
Awesome, awesome. That's what I like to hear, man. Love it. And V, any last thoughts before we get out of here? Other than the fact that it's obvious you're gonna win YCS Providence, but I'll let you take it.
It's better
over,
than maybe.
man.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. We don't do maybes. We don't do that here. Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you right now. You know, I know Roke here for a long time, and
Right.
I knew you for, I mean, a good amount of time. And I'll tell you right now, the Yu-Gi-Oh community needs people that just love the game, want to create content, and you know, that's just have that passion. Our community has good, positive, and negatives, and it's always great to see people that have that passion. You know, it's when you even talk to somebody. I talked to somebody a long time ago, when I was streaming. And they were like, "Oh, I open up a business, and I'm gonna do this as a business, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm making some money." And I'm like, buddy, you didn't even break 10 viewers, and you're already talking about like, yeah. I'm like, you know, so, and it is what it is. Some people have different agendas, different goals, but when you get people that have pure passion about something, it's always fun to not only hang out and talk with them, but also watch them. Because I watch, you know, both your channels, and I can see when you guys talk, it's not talking about like, I gotta do a video today. It's talking because, hey, listen, I got some great stuff to talk about. I'm really excited. Hopefully you guys can come on in and just hang out, watch my video, subscribe button, the like button, and stuff like that. It always has and always will resonate with me as a content creator and as a Yu-Gi-Oh player. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, we all share the same love and passion for the same card game, you know, and at the end of the day, in conclusion, we care. We care. You know, we do this, we take the sacrifices, we invest the time because we care. We care about the Yu-Gi-Oh community, about the Yu-Gi-verse, the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. We share the same passion. So again, it's been a pleasure to have you guys on. Thank you so much. And again, on that note, we're going to end it here, guys. Thank you so much for your time, for your support, for your attention. Stay fresh.